Vodcast for 2023. It feels so good to be back, fresh into the new year. We have so many exciting topics to unpack with you guys this year. So all I can say for now is follow the page and stay tuned. Today we'll be touching on the topic of entrepreneurship, which is an interesting topic, right? But before we get into that, I thought let's start with some introductions. So we'll start with me. My name is Maxine Singara, and I work for SeeYouthByCellC under the SeeYouth program.
And my name is Falisa Mapolo, and I work for SeeYouthByCellC under the SeeYouth program as well.
Nice to meet you.
You too, and you guys are?
My name is Rasia Pihote. I'm a pharmacist at PC Pharmacy.
My name is Mbasaka Zimbata. I am a business advisor at CEDA, Tshwane branch under Hammarskraal co-location.
Nice to meet you guys. So, before we get into the most pressing issues, I thought I should just come with an icebreaker. So, I have a question for each and one of you. So, I will ask you, what is your biggest fear? I will start.
Okay.
My biggest fear is actually being great. So, I'm afraid of being called to do the Lord's work, which is being great, which is being a conqueror, someone who's victorious. So, that is my biggest fear.
All right, so I think the theme of or the question, the icebreaker, what are you most fearful for, I think is very fitting to the topic we're discussing today of entrepreneurship, because I think going into entrepreneurship is something that a lot of people fear. But personally, for me, I think I'm most fearful of, the unknown, not knowing what's out there, what's, for me, like, I think everybody is fearful of death, right? And I think it's what's after death. And I think that's a question I try to ask myself every day, and you'll never know the answer. So I think it's the unknown.
Okay, my fear basically for me, I would say in terms of business is failing. I've got this fear of failing, meaning that sometimes I'm fearful of starting something. So I've got fear of failing. So I feel that I always put pressure on myself to excel in whatever it is that I try to do. So yeah, that's something I'm actually working on.
Okay, my fear is to live in a world where people don't have like access to like healthcare. You know, when you want to live a healthy life, but you don't actually have access to the services and the medication that you can use to actually live a healthy life. So my fear is to live in a world where like, people don't really have like access to not only healthcare but quality.
Quality, I think, is a key word.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, thank you, everyone. So I think we can get into it.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. So as you know, we're discussing entrepreneurship, self-employment, and I think that's the main theme for the SeeYouth platform this year. So, as you know, the unemployment rate in South Africa is at an all-time peak. We are at 43%. I think that's almost half of the youth population. I would say it's some sort of epidemic, if you can actually say, the unemployment rate, particularly in our country. And I mean, what does the stat of 43% mean for youth? Why do you think there's such a high unemployment rate in South Africa? And why do you think youth are struggling to find work in our country?
Okay, can I also add something with the unemployment rate? Because I feel there has been a bit of a difference, because last year, quarter 3, the unemployment rate was like 34%. And this financial year, in February, actually, it has gone down to 33%. So I feel that we can celebrate that 1%, even if it's not much.
Yes.
And that has been done through the platforms that are available in terms like CEDA. Because with us assisting SMMEs to be sustainable, now they are able to create employment, which has been able to close a bit of a gap. But we can't shy away from the fact that we still have a big problem with the unemployment. So the way I see it, I feel that we need to go back to the drawing board. Now we need to make sure that government, they put systems in place in terms of our graduates, because if you notice, we actually have many graduates, but we do not have many jobs to accommodate. So now if we can have maybe some sort of, let's say, government comes in, they invest, whereby after varsity, after you graduate, there's actually a program that will assist in terms of internship. Because for you to get a job, they say you need experience. Now, how do you get experience? You just graduated. So now if we've got a service that can actually assist with entrepreneurship, then after that, maybe 2-year entrepreneurship program, it makes it easy for them to get jobs. Because now if you can't get a job, there's a requirement. You stay 5 years without a job, then again, you can't be employed. So I do feel that we need to look into those type of platforms. And also our way of thinking. Because now most people, they are taught even by our parents that you need to go study, and then after studying, you need to look for a job. So now let's go back. How about you starting a business? So those type of things, they need to be taught at school. I mean, we can learn from places like China, where they develop our kids at a very young age. They develop skills. By the time they are adults, they know exactly what they're going to do. So we just need to relook at things, start from the beginning, go back to the drawing board.
And I think you have a very valid point there about encouraging entrepreneurship from as early as possible. Because I think a big factor in a lot of cultures with our parents is, after school you need to go study, you need to go into a specific career, you need to be able to be sustainable financially, get a job, you can look after yourself, look after your family. And I think it goes to my next point where entrepreneurship is a means to unemployment in any country, not just South Africa, self-employment. And a lot of youth are fearful, and I think it ties back to that icebreaker you had. A lot of youth are fearful to go into entrepreneurship because it's seen as I'm taking a risk. So I'm more comfortable to go and work a normal 8 to 5 job because I know it's going to put bread on the table. I know
every month you expect it's a safe zone.
Yes. It's about that comfortability. I don't know if I'm using the right word, but I know I'm going to be getting my salary at the end of the month. I'm not going to have a low month where I need to now find out how do I pay the bills, how do I pay my rent, how do I put it on the table. So it's like taking away that thing of actually going into schools and encouraging entrepreneurship and actually talking to the learners and say, this is what entrepreneurship is about. And taking away that fear that the youth have about taking initiative and saying, I have this idea, how do I execute it? And not going into the society of your typical, I need to get a job because my parents say so, I need to put food on the table. I mean, we need to stress the importance of how entrepreneurship can help the economy and help them, and also go into alleviating poverty. And I don't want to go into that conversation today, but that's another part. That's another podcast. But
touching on what you said, I also think that it starts at home. Like just also encouraging the parents to see and to show their kids the importance of entrepreneurship. Because once they tell us that you need to get a job, like get a 9 to 5. We listen to them and we don't have that confidence to actually go out there. And we don't think we have the capability of doing an entrepreneurship because we know that we're trained to be like
you need to get a job.
And what I'd like to add, one thing that I think is also important is like have a mentor, bring mentors who will sow seeds into people's hearts. There should be someone that the little ones they look up to in terms of business. I think if maybe we can bring more like of the mentorship, people who are there, so that these little ones can maybe look up to someone. You understand? So I think it's important that it will also add and so is seeking someone's heart. I want to be like that person when I grow up. This person started from here. Look where he is today. So I think that thing it sows like a big seed, and as it grows, people will they will be entrepreneurs in that way.
So it's like they need to be exposed to it. And sometimes Alisa was saying it's like our parents tell us that, and it's also because that's what they were told. I mean, our parents, I can't speak for all of you guys, but our parents had to, like, after matric, sometimes they haven't even finished school, had to already, find a job, and because of that, this is just like it's a cycle, and something that,